Hi there, this is Chantel Eckhouse, and I'm your instructor for statistics this semester. I wanted to give you a quick overview of our Canvas course and just show you around a little bit. So on the home screen, you will see over here on the left, you will see all of the places that you can easily go from any page. And then at the top here is ways to contact me, including my office hours, and a link. There's going to be lots of links on this page to get to the free online textbook. We're going to be using OpenStax textbooks, and it's a great textbook, and I do recommend, I'll talk about this in class, but I do recommend going to the website to use it because it has some things that you can only use when you're on the website. And I'll get to that. The video that I'm making right now is going to go right here. And down here is just some things that you need to do before you come to class. So please try to look at all of these things before you come. Over here on the right is everything that you have to do in the next week. Okay, so this page will mostly stay the same. Once in a while I may have an announcement or something on here. All right, so if we come over here and click on the syllabus, that will take you to the page with all of the course description, the attendance policy, the homework and late work policy, what to do if there's a weather cancellation, and learning outcomes and the content for the class. Here's another place to click on the textbook and all of the ways to use it. Some important notes, and then at the bottom, this will get bigger and bigger as the semester goes on. Every time I add a to-do or an assignment, you will see this list get longer. You can click directly on these and it'll take you to the assignment. So this is one of many ways to get to the assignments. All right, if you look over here on the right side, this is the way that each of the different assignment categories and tests and quizzes and everything are weighted in the class. So anytime you have a question about the way anything runs in this class or your grades and how they're laid out, you can look here at the syllabus. All right, the next thing on the list is the textbook. So this is another way, I think this is the third way to get to the textbook. And I will come back to this in just a moment, and I'm going to talk to you about the textbook. All right, next we have discussions, which we will be having possibly not every week, but many weeks we will have a discussion online so that we don't have to talk in class. This way, you don't have to talk in front of everybody. You can just type your thoughts to share with everybody. And I'll talk more about that when the time comes. The next thing is the module. So this is a pretty important one. I would start at the top and work your way through each of these and make sure you've done them. If it has a date and points, then that means it's an assignment. If it just has a date, it means it's a to-do and it's not worth any points. So if you come down here, from here down is going to be weekly modules. So this is the module for week 1. There will be an overview here that you want to click on and read about what we're going to be doing before we get started. All the readings for this week are listed here. So here is a fourth way, I think it was number 4, to get into the textbook. So that's just a real quick way to go right to what you need. And then these are the activities we're going to do in class. These are listed here specifically for people who maybe have missed class or you just want a reminder of what we did. There are some notes that I might hand out. These are not all the notes, but just some quizzes, labs and experiments that we do in class, classwork. And the PowerPoint is up here. There's an intro and the lecture are listed here. So you can download those PowerPoints. The homework will all be here. And notice this last one does not have points. So it's going to be a longer list of things to do, basically. So these are all the things you need to do for homework. All right, and then it goes on to week 2, which I haven't completed yet. But it'll look a lot like week 1. All right, so let's go back up to the top. Okay, so the next thing on this list are the grades. This is where you can take a look at every single one of your grades, and I highly recommend looking at these. I do make mistakes once in a while, so I would check all of your scores and make sure they're right. And if you come down to the bottom here, you'll see your score in each of these different categories. Okay, so I would take a look at this on a regular basis. The next thing is the chat, which I don't have set up yet to use, but you can always, it's open, so you can always start a chat with your classmates. The next one here is the Hartness Library resources, which we may use at some point in the semester, and if we do, I will get to that. Then below that is Office 365. We will be using that right away. So this is something that we will use, and we'll talk about that in class. And the last thing is tutor.com, which you can use to get help in statistics. All right, so I'm going to come back up here to the textbook. Before I leave to talk about the textbook, I want to talk about, here's the calendar. And on the calendar should have all of your classes aggregated here in one place. So every class that you take should have all of your assignments listed here. And then your inbox will be listed here as well. So yours won't say access denied. It's just because I'm in as a student right now. But you should look here on a regular basis. I do communicate with my students regularly about things that I may have forgotten in class or just announcements. So make sure you're looking at your inbox. Okay, so then to get back to your course, our course from the inbox, you want to click on either courses or dashboard and click on our statistics class. Okay, so now I'm going to take a look at the textbook. If you just click on textbook, it'll take you to a page that's not doing it now, but there should be a blue box right here that you'll click on to take you into our textbook. So it takes you outside of the Canvas site and into the textbook. So I just wanted to point out here that you want to be signed in. So you need to get an account. So if you look over here on the right, I'm signed in, and you get an account, and then anytime you highlight, so you can highlight and you can take notes, and they're going to save those highlights in a place where all you have to do is click here on My Highlights. So it's a way of taking notes in the book that's really nice. So over here on the left, you can see there's a drop-down menu for Chapter 1. And then here's all of the sections. The last two sections are the experiments. And then if you click on key terms, you'll see every single term that you need to learn in this chapter, which may be on tests and things like that. And they're definitely things you need to understand and know more than probably any math class you've ever taken, more like a science class. You need to know the terminology to be able to understand and answer things. Then there's a review, and these reviews are really nice. They really sum up a lot of stuff for you, section by section in a pretty short way. Then there are practice problems, and if you look at these, the blue ones are clickable. You can click on those and it'll take you right to the answer. So I'll just hit the back button on my browser and it'll take me back to where I was before. And then if you go down to homework, it continues on. It doesn't start with number 1. It starts with number 42, which the last problem in the practice was 41. And then we've got homework that's continuing here called Bringing It Together. So you'll see that in some of them. And then the solutions to the odds are at the end of the chapter. So this is just a really, I like having a hard copy of a book usually, but this is just so easy to use and click around in, and with the use of the highlights and the notes, so you can make highlights and notes here. It just makes it really nice to use. Okay, so here we are back at our home page. If you have any questions, please bring them to class, and I look forward to seeing everyone.